Good morning. So thank you for having me. My name is Greg Lewis. I'm an assistant professor in intelligent systems engineering. And as James did a really good job laying out, I'm going to talk a little bit about closing the loop a little bit in healthcare. I also have an appointment at the Kinsey Institute. And this talk is about some of the work bringing bioengineering advances into the work we're doing at the Kinsey Institute to develop what we're calling a traumatic stress research consortium. So my collaborators in that traumatic stress project are Dr. Stephen Porges, Jacek Kołacz, who's in the back of the room, and Deb Dana, who is our clinical point of contact. And I'm just going to give a very brief outline of how that thing is going to be structured, because I'm not going to talk about it in this talk. The idea is to build a global consortium. Traumatologists, people who deal with people who've been through a trauma and are seeking treatment, are our point of contact to access a representative sample of trauma survivors all around the globe. So we're going to be doing large-scale studies in the future, and one of the goals of that is to bring in biological data to tell us about the autonomic nervous system of these trauma survivors. So a couple things I want to kind of convey in this very short talk are, first of all, that we have this thing that is an autonomic nervous system. It connects our brain to our body. It regulates these different closed-loop feedback systems, how peripheral organs function. I'm going to talk today about the heart and the voice, because those are two things that we're focusing on in the trauma center, collecting biomarkers from those two organs. But the autonomic nervous system is regulating all of the viscera, right? All of our peripheral function. And the two methods that we have for measuring these two systems are heart rate variability. This is a beat-to-beat pattern in heart rate that tells us about a specific nerve descending from a specific part of the brainstem to the heart, changing the pacemaker of the heart, changing that behavior. And that's the vagal nerve. And also vocal prosody. So I probably have a little bit of anxiety, so I can hear my voice is a little bit different, and that's because of this recurrent laryngeal branch of the vagus nerve. Same pathway that goes to the heart. Some of those nerves branch back up and go and innervate the voice box. And so we're looking to get biomarkers from the heart and from the voice that tell us about this vagal system, tell us about autonomic function. So the next thing I want to make sure that you understand is that trauma changes the way the autonomic nervous system is regulated. And that has profound impacts for health. So in a healthy person, a healthy adult at rest, you have sort of these three branches, these three systems of autonomic control. And they reflect evolutionary history. So there's the oldest system, which I've colored red here, and this is not representative of anything besides ratio. The defensive mechanism for that old system is to freeze. This is the mouse that plays dead. The next newer evolution in autonomic regulation is a yellow mobilization sympathetic control. So this is your fight or flight system. And then on the top level, you have this trust and collaborate, also health, growth, and restoration of this parasympathetic system. So a healthy person at rest should be dominated by this health, growth, and restoration feedback system, but trauma changes that balance. And it does so, be it chronic, low-level, or chronic trauma, or an acute trauma. So a single event can change this balance. And when you change that balance, you change a lot of things about health outcomes. So we're developing, so the types of health outcomes we look at are physical health, so things like cardiovascular disease, gastrointestinal problems, mental health, development of diagnoses in the psychological domain, sexual health, and social health. So the ability to make and maintain relationships, quality relationships. We have this sort of growth model for building up the traumatic center and our technology in it. I'm doing lab-based work at the Kinsey Institute to validate self-report measures where people ask people about how their body is regulated. We're also doing that in a clinic where we're scaling up, working locally with a traumatologist. We're then going to be collecting vocal affect data from people while they do surveys. So if thousands of people are doing a survey for one of our trauma studies, we're going to ask them to speak into the microphone, and we're going to collect vocal prosody from that. And then in the end, we're going to be doing non-contact physiology through cameras, trying to get heart rate variability measures from our imaging technology, which is, we just got a patent granted on this about a month ago. So the last thing I'll do, because I think I only have a minute, or not really, to show you. So this is the currently pilot or prototype system, non-contact heart rate. where we can extract these measures of breathing rate, and also heart rate variability critically, which is our measure of autonomic function, in real time from cameras. And the hope is to collect this from people while they're doing our survey measures all around the world, collecting data from the trumps. So that's it.